On today's episode, we have Njabulo Cele, a poet and voiceover artist who fell in love with poetry back in 2013 while matriculating at Edendale Technical High School, inspired by his then English teacher, Mrs. Mthembu, who discovered his special creative ability in storytelling during essays and presentations. In high school, he was a public speaker and would write his own speeches that later developed into poetry pieces that he would recite during assembly time. In 2014, notified by a friend, he found out of a poetry session held every Friday at the Basinhead Library Auditorium 1. And this is where he initially launched his introduction as a full-time poet. In 2015, enrolled at DUT Riverside campus, and instantly became part of DUT Drama Oral Child Society, participating in events like student resident poetry sessions, DUT exam prayer ceremonies, Freshers Bash, Magic Tour, and more. In 2016, as part of a poetry slam team, he represented Pietermaritzburg and won the slam against the Devon team. In the same year, at DUT, he was selected to perform at the prestigious Miss and Mr. DUT, where he performed just after the most prolific and prominent South African music legend, Professor, and got a standing ovation from a filled to capacity Cane Growers Hall. In 2017, he auditioned in a local TB awareness competition where, upon winning, he was flown to Cape Town to perform at the World TB Day conference hosted by University of Stellenbosch and University of Cape Town. In the same year, as secretary of DUT Oral Child Society, he was granted an opportunity to perform at eQxtacy FM 2 consecutive weeks, which helped spike the sale of his album called The Rise of Njabulo Cele. In 2018, on his birthday, he performed at the Durban ICC in a TB conference of which the Deputy President, David Mabuza, was one of the keynote speakers. In the same year, he established his own school visiting program where he visited more than 8 local schools for poetry performances as well as preparing the youth for varsity life and its challenges. In 2019, he worked with Isizwe Arts Project NPO as their secretary and creative content producer. He successfully guided them to a victory in a community theatre festival known as Imbogodo, where they took first position honors. In 2020, in partnership with ev&u, he established a marketing platform for Pietermaritzburg-based artists known as eQxtacy ev&u, which broadcasts its episode on a Facebook page as well as YouTube, where he creates content in forms of voiceovers and poetry pieces. For more, please follow him on the socials.
Ngiphinde ngivuke nasekufeni sengivuswa iziphi izenhliziyo yakhe iphamputha ndolwami.